everyone. So with the Fit Model division starting to gather more competitors into it, and being as I competed in bikini for 4 to 5 years, and I have been a posing coach for about 5 years now, and now I'm a Fit Model competitor, I think it's a good time to talk about some of the differences between bikini and Fit Model, and which division should you go into? What are the things you should consider when choosing your division, and some of the thoughts that go into it as a competitor and as a coach for competing in bikini or Fit Model. So when we talk about Fit Model, it being so new, a lot of people are wondering, who is Fit Model for? Why should I go into Fit Model versus bikini? Who is a Fit Model competitor? So a lot of the language that we're hearing is Fit Model is an entry-level division, really good for first-time competitors, which I agree wholeheartedly. The other thing that should implore you to go into Fit Model is if you like the look of Fit Model, of what we're seeing, and the bikini look of 2015 and that Ashley Cole-Wasser look, go for it. That is one of the biggest things. If you like that look, you should shoot for it. It's okay if you're a first-time competitor, or maybe you kind of want to do bodybuilding but you're unsure if you'll like the process of prepping, being on stage, and you're not ready to make that full financial commitment for the fully blinged out suit and maybe that super long off season with a coach to add that muscle tissue that you need to do bikini. Fit Model is a wonderful starting point. I think that's kind of the idea of talking about it as entry level, is a lot of people nowadays are intimidated by bikini because a lot of what we're seeing at the pro and national level is a very trained physique, has a good level of muscularity, and requires a good amount of conditioning to show that muscularity in the NPC or IFBB level of bikini. So Fit Model fits that in-between phase where people don't want to feel really out of place going into an amateur level bikini show. So Fit Model opens up the door to say, hey, if you want to try this out, the suits are a lot cheaper. You don't have to get as conditioned. If you don't have that level of muscularity yet, that's okay. You will still fit in within Fit Model. I think with that, one thing a lot of competitors only that don't also work as coaches is understanding people can have different goals with competing. For some people, maybe they just want to do it to say they did it. Fit Model provides a really good opportunity where some women cannot have to go into debt for the suit or the cost of as long of a prep and off season with a coach, and they can just see if they like it before deciding to commit more of their time to it. I think a lot of times people with the mindset that do have these big goals and want to be a professional or get to those higher stages assume that everyone competing is in the same realm. You have to understand, at a regional or local level show, the barrier to entry is none. You can compete for whatever reason you want, and one story that really stuck with me recently at the NPC Tennessee seminar I went to at the end of November last year, the chairman for NPC Tennessee told the story of a guy at this show, and a lot of people would say he looked out of place, etc. And Alan asked him, hey, what got you into this? Why are you doing this show? And he had said a year prior, I'm going to try not to get emotional because he said a year prior, his brother and him made a goal to do this show together. And his brother had passed away from an accident 6 months prior. And he, didn't do the whole diet and everything as he should have, but he did it in remembrance for his brother that had passed. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And a lot of times we're judgmental to people's rationale for getting on a bodybuilding stage, but if you're just competing at the regional level, or you're a true novice competitor and you're just getting your feet wet, there's nothing wrong with going on stage just because you want to. And I think that's something it took until I was a coach and having more respect for people's different decisions. It's okay if you're just going to figure it out and you don't want to go pro or anything. I think people are welcome to do it, and bodybuilding, we're all a little weird. It's a weird hobby that we're into, and we need to welcome people in with open arms that are willing to hear out what we do or try it out. So I think Fit Model provides an opportunity where people can feel a little more at ease because they know that the barrier to entry is not as high as it is for bikini nowadays. So in talking about some differences and similarities between Fit Model and bikini, very clearly the posing is different. The posing for Fit Model should be a lot simpler. The staggered stallion pose, front pose, the back pose is the same for Bikini and Fit Model, but Bikini you're going to have that leg straight, side angle, profile, glute pose. That's probably one of the biggest differences. For Bikini, we do want to see more muscle density, size, and for you to be leaner or have more conditioning. Fit Model, it still requires a level of muscularity to proceed to the upper levels, but not as much as Bikini, nor as much density. The conditioning is just lesser as well. It's not that you're not aiming to get lean at all, it's just lesser than Bikini. At the end of the day, the preps are very, very similar. Prep, training, everything of that sort, Bikini and Fit Model, it's going to ride out pretty much the same. Again, at the end of the day, depending on where your physique needs to adapt and change, your training's going to change. So even me as a Fit Model competitor, my training will differ from another Fit Model competitor depending on what her strengths and weaknesses are versus my own. The same thing will go for any other division, and if you're first starting out, you're probably going to have to build all over regardless of if you choose Fit Model or Bikini. And probably one of the biggest things that people are talking about currently between Bikini versus Fit Model is at the NPC local and regional level, what's the difference? Well, it's going to take some time for people to quantify the difference between the two. I think we've seen what's happened with Bikini over the years is as the standard has risen in what is requisite for muscularity and conditioning, less and less Bikini competitors are competing every year. They're either taking longer off seasons or some like me left the sport because we either didn't feel genetically we could reach that level, didn't want to do what it takes, whether that be, training, diet, lifestyle, supplementation, etc. Or it just takes time and people were stepping away from stage for longer. So what you've been seeing in Bikini at the regional level sometimes is a mixed bag. And when you see a lot of ladies that are shooting for pro cards, etc., to move up, they're taking time away from stage. So what you see occur at the regional level for Bikini may be right now very similar to Fit Model. And until time goes on and we get that sorted out, it's going to take a little. And I think it's gonna be a trial and error. And I think it's okay if women show up that aren't what maybe Ashley Kaltwasser looked like. That is a top level, Olympia level physique. And to think that you must have that level of muscularity to step on stage for the first time is a bit alarming. We all started somewhere. If you look at my first ever competition photos, I'm very differently built in my level of muscularity, my level of density, all of the above. So it takes time, and I think it's totally okay that if there's competitors that are either newer to the sport or they just don't have that muscularity yet, this is a great opportunity for them. Even if they're not at that Olympia level physique yet, it gives them an opportunity to succeed and feel like they fit in. So I think that's a key component there about what really is the difference. Should I do one versus the other? Until you're shooting to try to aim for a pro card or go further as the division goes on, it's going to depend what your heart wants. If you are dead set that you want to be a Bikini competitor because you've been working at it for 2 years, but people say you're not Bikini yet, do the division you love. At the end of the day, you're spending so much time in the gym, so much effort and money into this. Do what you love. If Bikini's where your heart's at, go for it. You can still build into it. But if maybe you realize over time, yeah, I love Bikini, but Fit Model fits me now and I really want to go to stage, it's not a downgrade. You're just redirecting your focus, and you can still do Bikini in the future, or if you end up loving Fit Model, you can have a new division. It's not a failure to decide you want to pivot and change directions at any point. And I think that's a big lesson that needs to be said. And so that's a little bit of my thoughts about the difference between Bikini and Fit Model right now. I think that a lot of people are confused and there is a bit almost of gatekeeping. Bodybuilding at the amateur level, we will accept you wherever you are. Do your best and commit yourself and give it the work day in and day out. Because at the end of the day, that's all you can do. So if you put in that effort that you can and you get into it and you do your best, that's all you can ask for. And you can't control who's going to show up or where you'll place, But if you go into a show knowing that you're at your best and you did what you can rest easy and know that the future is bright and you can only improve from there. So I hope this helps some of you ladies that might be a little in between on where should I go, what should I do. Maybe I'm feeling disheartened being told I should do Fit Model, or I feel like I need to step down. It's not a step down. It's just a redirection. And if anyone has any questions about the differences or anything like that, my messages are always open. I'm always happy to help align people best where they fit in this. I've had so much passion and so much reward in my life from being able to help other women through it and find that devotion in themselves. So have a good one, and I'll talk to you guys later.